sometimes what's going on in the world, I shouldn't say in the world, I don't want to over exaggerate. What's going on in my city makes me go, WTF. And I'm spelling that out because I don't want YouTube to do nasty things to this video. And I apologize for my voice. I definitely woke up with a froggy in my throat. But this had to be said. And I've had a few people reach out to me to talk about it. We're talking about the city of Thunder Bay, the Danger Cats, and what the F. Let's talk about it. Bonjour, Mishko Paganon, Quain Additional Cost Mundo Dem. Hi, everybody. My name is Sandy Boucher with a way deeper voice today. I'm Red Thunderbolt Woman of the Loon Clan, a proud member of Seine River First Nation in Treaty 3 territory in Northern Ontario, and I live in the city of Thunder Bay. And if you don't know the national reputation of this city, feel free to Google that. I can wait. Thunder Bay is known for its anti-Indigenous racism, and if you talk to city administration, they will tell you how that is just rumor and people gossiping, and that is not the case. That is so the case. I have lived here for 40 years, and I did not grow up here. I spent a lot of time here as a youth. But the reputation for anti-Indigenous racism, let me tell you, as a Quay in this city is well earned. You have to be willfully blind not to see it. And all you have to do, pick a store, any store where Indigenous people go, because there's quite a few that Indigenous people would not walk into because they know the treatment. They know they're going to be followed around in case they steal something. They know the eye rolls. They know the lateral violence that is never spoken. But go to a store, restaurant, whatever, that does serve Indigenous people, not where they're all seeming comfy, because we do have a few of those safe spots, and we cherish those and appreciate those, and kudos to the people that provide those. But go to any regular store where you see Indigenous people and non-Indigenous going in and watch the difference in the attitude of the cashiers or the salesperson when they're speaking to an Indigenous person as opposed to speaking to a non-Indigenous person. People can deny it all they want. If they're denying it, it is willful blindness because you can see it every freaking day. I happen to believe, because I've done it in my own life, that is the basis for it. I believe that you make your bed, that you set your own table, and you have in your life what you allow in your life. People that follow my channel, and if you're new here, by the way, I appreciate it. Thank you for coming out. Hope you come back. Feel free to subscribe. People who follow my work know I'm a 10-year domestic abuse survivor. They know I was raised in poverty, that I was raised in a house that didn't have running water, that when I was, younger, when my children were babies, there were times I sold furniture to feed my children. I know the challenges. And I know that you have in your life what you allow in your life. I used to be surrounded by the most racist, just the anti-Indigenous racism that I experienced in my life was ridiculous. I could share something incredibly personal, but I'm not going to. Just know that a loved one incredibly close to me actually suffered like being disowned because he had the misfortune of being born with darker skin, which is ridiculous. Can we just say that? So what you allow in your life, in your home, in your community is what you allow. And that's where Thunder Bay has to get their poop together. Because what is allowed in this city, and if I hear city council say one more time, well, you know what, that's not in our mandate. That's not under our control. You can have a freaking opinion. You can actually act like leaders, right? But we have a city council. I would definitely debate anyone who says we have leadership. Silence is acceptance. And the municipality, the city of Thunder Bay, our city council is silent on way too many important things. And today I wanted to talk about the danger cats. I do not know where they're from. I wish they would go back there, but I don't know where they're from. They're not worth my time to look into, but I did do some research for this video. So I did find... Okay, let's put it this way. This is a group of 3 stand-up comics. They may have had more at another point, but what I found was 3. Not going to name them, not giving them any publicity more than that. They sell Robert Picton t-shirts. Like, if that isn't enough to gross you out, then you are officially part of the problem. And if there's one thing that drives me nuts about nowadays, it's there are so many people that don't buy into the social contract, that there are ways you behave to be part of a functioning society. And if you don't want to do that, all the power to you. Go live in the bush, not in the bush, protect the bush. Go live on an island somewhere and just stay out of society. But if you're going to be part of society, there is a social contract and there's certain things and ways you behave, and people are forgetting that. They're doing a whole lot of freedom of speech. I can say whatever I want. Well, you know what? For one, freedom of speech isn't in Canada. That's the US. 2, you can say whatever you want. It is not free from consequences. And when we rally up against you and shut you down, don't cry. Because that's the price tag for the BS you're spitting out. So, Robert Picton, the pig farmer, they killed so many women. Usually they were working on the streets, totally impoverished, totally vulnerable. A lot of them Indigenous women. Killed them and fed them to his pigs. Like, gross. And he would sell t-shirts. The other thing, one of the danger cats, dangerous, pathetic maybe, makes a reference to unmarked graves and digging up sites at residential schools. Now, comics are known for saying things that the other people can't say. If you need to make a joke of a bunch of innocent children being torn away from their families, scared, abused, neglected, mistreated, and so many of them not coming home, you're not a comedian. You're desperate for attention, and I'm not giving you any, which is why I wanted to do this speech. This video, we need to shut these idiots down. Now, they tried to perform, my cats are fighting in the background. I hope you can't hear that. Shows in Winnipeg have been canceled. Shows in BC have been canceled. I know they tried to perform in Thunder Bay before, and it got shut down. It has now been, I'm going to have to go see what those cats are doing. It's now been rescheduled for May. And the comedy club it's Cricket's Comedy Club, needs to be boycotted, called out. Like, how desperate are you? And back to the city administration. who whine and complain about the reputation of this city. And I know what they're going to say. That's private business. We can't have anything to do with that. Silence is acceptance. So if you want to fight for good things for the city, you have to say something against the bad. You have to actually come out. If you care at all about Indigenous people, and don't just say you do, the allies have to show up when things like this, when shows like this are scheduled and people want to actually do this. Allies, this is your chance, because your silence is not acceptable. We need the show shut down. It has no business being performed anywhere. Massive amounts of children being ripped from their homes and unalived so they don't ever get to come home. Who would joke about that? Why do you think that is funny? How pathetic of a human being do you have to be to make a joke about that? Thunder Bay, we can do better. Canada, we can do better. There is no room anywhere for the danger cats. I hope you're with me. This is pathetic. This is disgusting. And I'm not staying silent. Allies, I need to hear voices. The Indigenous voices have spoken out. We need to hear the ally voice strong. Thunder Bay, if you want to prove that reputation wrong, we need non-Indigenous people speaking out against this. Across Canada, we need non-Indigenous people speaking out against this loudly, not just occasionally, loudly, until this is labeled as totally inappropriate and goes against everything that we're trying to do in this country. So there is my opinion on the absolutely pathetic danger cats. I'm not staying silent. And if that means I have to grab a picket sign, so be it. I hope I'm in town. Thank you for listening to my froggy voice. Thunder Bay, we can do better. I need to hear the outcry. I need to see this crap shut down. You want to prove you care about Indigenous people? Silence doesn't cut it. I need this shared across your social media. Because if you can't, that tells me you have friends that would actually go to this crap. And if you do, you're not an ally. If you're not speaking up, silence is acceptance. And just speaking up on my channel is not good enough. Spread the word. Shut down the danger cats. Those children that never got home, got to come home, they deserve that from us. We did enough to them and their families. This has to stop. Until tomorrow, I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.